Hello, welcome to TECHNOBABBLE again. Um, Today I'm going to be replacing the battery in this headset. It's a Turtle Beach Elite 800X. Had it for years. As you can see, the headband part has lost all of its leatherette, fake leather stuff has peeled off of it. The headset does still work, but the battery is just about wore out. It won't last for more than an hour or two now. So the first step is taking off the ear cups. Apologies for the voiceover, by the way. My sinuses destroy me this time of year. So I am under the assumption that the battery is underneath where the battery prongs are when you charge the headset at its dock station thing. So I'm gonna start by trying to remove that ear cup, just 4 screws. This is my first time doing this. Alright, a whole mess of little spindly wires and a couple of more screws. It's not too bad. Got a little spudger to try to lift the board with. I found that on this side it's a little difficult with the actual charging prongs coming in, so gonna remove those as well. Lift that up, only to be massively disappointed that the battery's not on this side. So we want to start by removing the left ear cup, the one without the little battery connection prongs on it. Which is the same 4 screws holding in the speaker grill, I guess you would call it. Pull that out, and a whole nother mess of little spindly wires. This side's a little worse. In the corners here where the microphones are for noise isolation or sound pickup or whatever, little tiny super thin wires running into those microphones, and the microphones are like glued into the shell. So definitely want to be careful on this side. This is the side where the battery is. And lifting it up and kind of pulling towards the top of the headset will allow you to get the board out enough to see the battery underneath. And then remove the little power cable and its connector. Kind of hard to get a hold of. Had to wiggle it a little bit myself. Alright. Now I can flip the little motherboard up and see the battery. Try to take my little plastic spudger and pry that out. Doesn't go particularly great. So what I wind up doing is grabbing some isopropyl alcohol and putting in a little kind of squirt bottle that I've got. You could also dip a cotton swab or Q-tip, cotton bud, in the isopropyl alcohol and press it into the side, the corner of the battery, to get it to run underneath to remove the adhesive that they have holding the battery down. I'll try to leave a link for the battery in the description. It's not affiliate. Amazon's terrible for changing sellers and products not showing up anymore, but I will leave a just link for the one that I bought. Just about as terrible as I am at keeping things in view of my phone. I don't have a viewfinder or anything like that, but as you can see, I did get the battery out. I just put some of that alcohol on the side and kept the headset sort of tilted to where it could try to run underneath of it. Here I'm taking some paper towels to try to make sure everything's dry in there. Before I put the new battery in. I also take some canned air, or as I've also seen it called, the can of magic winds. I wonder how many people would get that reference. Try to keep everything cut out to where you only see me doing things and not leave the table empty here. Thought about trying to salvage the adhesive pad they had on there, but figured it would be way too hard to get off. So I have another solution for keeping the battery tacked down. In the reviews on the battery itself, it says that a lot of people would just take some like duct tape or something to keep it tacked down. Personally, I just happen to have a pretty good stockpile of like 3M strips, command strips. So I decided to use these little ones here actually, because they have a clear space at the top where it's not adhesive. So I can create like a little bumper, sort of like they had on the original battery. Basically duplicated everything that they had originally done. The replacement battery is slightly longer than the original battery, and in being that way, you kind of have to angle the battery. It won't set in straight. Straight as in horizontally. So I cut these little only sticky on one side parts, and use those to create the sort of bumper that was there. To keep the motherboard or whatever from rubbing up against the battery. But yeah, when you place the battery in, you do kind of want it to be at an angle. and you have to be careful that it does not cause the board to press out too much. Otherwise, the sort of directional rocker that they have on the outside for choosing modes and turning it on and off will not make contact with the motherboard. And so before you seal it up, you want to make sure that your buttons work, basically, and then make sure to, once they do, press the battery into place. So it's a little fiddly because they have like those thin cables that are connected to the microphones and stuff, and they've got the microphones glued into place. But if my chunky fingers can do this, I'm sure most people could. That's pretty much it. Like I said here, I lined it all up and gave it a test to see if it would click on or not. And at this time the buttons do not work, so I actually had to resituate the battery. Kind of do a little time lapse here of me doing that, making sure I feel like everything is in a good place. Once again, drag it off screen because it's hard to see what's going on under there. Okay, now the buttons work. The battery is in and I'm holding the motherboard down. Turn it back off. And get ready to get it put back together. It's a pretty simple process. All in all, it took me like 20 minutes. A little over 20 minutes or so, maybe, everything in total, and it's pretty straightforward and simple. If you're looking for a guide, I hope this one was helpful. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for this video.
Powering off.
So there it is. Welcome to TECHNOBABBLE. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it useful, click that like button, get subscribed. And this has been Valhalla's Demise. As always, remember to be safe, be good. Hope to catch you in the next one.